Hello, hola, and welcome back to the Metropolitan Culture Corner. And as you know by now, our monthly interview series shines a light on the fascinating creative individuals who form a part of the local arts and culture scene here in Barcelona. That's why every interview so far has been with someone who is either based in Barcelona or who was born in Barcelona. But this month, we decided to make an exception. Our guest this month is Ukrainian artist Natalia Revoniuk. While she currently splits her time between the Ukraine and the UK, she was just in Barcelona exhibiting her work as a part of the 2024 Women's Essence International Art Showcase, where she was one of the recipients of the Women Art Award, which highlights notable female visual artists from all over the world. Natalia was born in Lviv, Ukraine, and moved to the UK in 2002. Her world travels have taken her to 85 countries, and she has carved a distinctive artistic path with her paintings, which combine traditional painting techniques with concepts ranging from the modern to the ancient, from graphic design to dot art similar to the Cucuteni-Trypillya people, more on that later, and what she calls transformational energy art and visionary art. As a visual artist, Natalia has had or participated in over 35 group or solo exhibitions in Italy, the UK, Turkey, Ukraine, Poland, Germany, and Spain, and she is also the curator of the platform Forum Ukraine. Her life as a painter has also been informed by her adventures outside the world of art. She is the COO of software company Visoft Development Center. She spent 10 years racing 4x4s and 25 years studying yoga and meditation. She is also a beauty queen and has a master's in genetics and biotechnology. This is a professional woman with interests in multiple fields, and she has been successful so far in all of them. She also has a family with 2 daughters, and somewhere in there finds time to speak at conferences and cultural events about a variety of subjects, most recently focusing on cultural diplomacy for Ukrainian artists and the Ukrainian people in general. Natalia's motto is to leave the world a better place than we found it, reflecting her commitment to use art as a catalyst for positive change. So please welcome this multifaceted, incredibly busy, extremely talented artist, Natalia Revoniuk, to the Metropolitan Culture Corner.
Not only to create art, but show it to somebody. Because I also know a lot of people, they create a beautiful art, but they too shy to show it. I truly believe that the dreams are very important. But to make dreams come true, you need to do something. If somebody wants to be seriously in the art world, it's important to meet people from the art world and to be truly yourself, and don't afraid to go where you want to go. Don't afraid to speak to people. You think, oh, this artist is more famous than I am, I shouldn't speak to them. Please don't do this, because life is too short. I learned it, unfortunately, when war starts, that our life can stop anytime. But even without war, actually, life can stop anytime. Nobody knows how long we will live. Today can be the last day of our life. And if you think about life from this perspective, maybe there is things which will you stop doing, or maybe there is things which you will do. So to be scary to reach somebody or to speak to somebody, it's so stupid if you understand that life is too short. So I would like to encourage at least one person to do first step to make their dreams come true. Only if you will be true to yourself and your art, then it can be a true success. Thank you so much.
So you're in the UK right now?
Yes, I am in the UK right now. I'm living here on the West Yorkshire, close to Manchester. I came here summer 22 after war starts in Ukraine, and my daughter started her study in local school, so I am here to support her. But I plan to go back to Ukraine when everything will be fine and when my daughter will graduate school.
Well, as a kid, did you always think you were going to be an artist? Was that your dream, or is this something that came along later? Because I know your grandmother was an art critic, so you were already involved in the arts when you were little.
That's right. She was a great art lover. She had tons of art books, and we spoke about art all my childhood. Yeah, but I never took it serious. I never thought this is for me. Because in Ukraine that time, there was a stereotype that all artists are hungry and you can't survive with this profession. So you need to be lawyer or doctor. That's why I graduated biology. So I am professional scientist from genetic and biotechnology, because art never was accepted as a profession, as a real thing. But yes, I wanted to be an artist from childhood, and I had art in my life all my life. There is some story behind how I became a professional artist 5 years ago.
Did you ever have any formal training, or it was just something that you started experimenting with on your own?
Everything what I do, I take really, really serious. So like 10 years before I started professional art career, I did all possible courses, and I have a postgraduate university in Kyiv. Kyiv is the capital of Ukraine. So I have an art education as a contemporary artist, as a postgraduate graduate education, and I did have a lot of mentors of professional artists, and I did study everything from classical art to Aborigine art to sacral geometry art, so of possible kinds of art. I think it grew up naturally from all my study and all my travelings, because I do travel a lot in all countries. I visited a gallery, museum. Art was always my favorite hobby for my time. Now is professional, and also it grew up together with my sensitivity. So all together mixes, and I create my own style, which is recognizable now. I have art exhibition in 8 countries in Europe, so it's now been more than 30, and I'm really happy with this.
You've mentioned in interviews that the painter Mark Rothko was an influence on you and that you really resonate with the kind of work that he does. Besides him, was there any other artists that really inspired you or anyone who you felt mentored you while you were studying?
Yeah, I love Pollock, I love Rothko, I love many artists. But what I am doing, I see it as a mixture of science, if I can say so, and also art. Because as I mentioned before, I studied genetic and biotechnology. I also key very much in quantum physics and epigenetic. And I believe in all this wave theory, energy vibration, and all of stuff. And I believe this is not esoteric or unscientific. I believe this is knowledge, and I feel that I put special energy into my artworks. And also I spoke with the Royal College of Art in UK. Here they have a special department, came for a few months on the summertime, and you can cooperate in the Royal Art College together with the scientific special laboratories. So they have a physics machines which can measure how strong is the energy of the art. And I want to prove that some kind of art can bring special energy or vibrations, or depends how you name it, to the room or to the people who observe it.
And why art specifically? Because if you have talent as a painter and if you've studied painting and you've developed your abilities, then you have that as an outlet to express these things. But if you couldn't paint, would there be another way to express or explain these kinds of ideas or these kinds of energies you're talking about?
Yeah, this is actually a really nice question. Now, when I think about this, I believe any talent can be connected with energy. So, talented singer, when they sing, people start crying. Yes, people start feeling some goosebumps. When it's a good art, also people can feel it and they can have goosebumps and all these emotions when they see art. Rothko, he also works not only like an artist, he works also with energy. And that's why people, when they see original works, they start crying. So yes, you're right. Any kind of creativity, any kind of talent, the artist says to this energy, they can show it and they can spread this love and energy to other people.
You've studied meditation and yoga and things like that for a long time. Do you feel like painting is a form of meditation?
It's connected. Definitely, it's connected. My kind of painting definitely is a meditation, because it's a lot of details, and I need hours and hours to create these graphical, detailed pictures. But also, meditation gives me a possibility to be more self-conscious, to understand about who I am, why I am here, what I want to show. So yes, I did many kind of meditation. I am advanced student of Dr. Joe Dispenza. This is a meditative teacher from United States. And also I do nail meditation, and I did some experience like ayahuasca. This is all because from childhood I was really curious kid. How does this world work? Are we really just piece of meat, or there is something else? And for me, this was really interesting topic for all my life. That's why I investigated.
And nail meditation is where you lay on a bed of nails, is that right?
No, it's when you stand on the nails. I can show you because it's in my room. This is quite heavy, actually. So this is the kind of board I have. This name is Everboard. And when I open it, like inside, there is a lot of nails. They are quite sharp and they move. So when you stay, it's not still, but you move a little bit. And this is to train concentration. So when you are not concentrated, it will be really, really painful. But if you concentrate, first of all, on your upper body and then on your thoughts, then pain became almost invisible. So this is a very nice tool to train your concentration. And then when you have a nice concentration, you can concentrate on your task. You are not procrastinating. This is very, very nice skill for daily life as well.
I'm looking at your painting behind you, the that's one of your works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's very, very detailed, as you mentioned. And you're talking now about standing on these nails to train your concentration. And I'm just thinking about how much concentration it takes to create any work of art. Do you feel like these meditation methods are something you do because you would like to strengthen your concentration, or do you find it necessary because the world that we live in is so based on social media and everyone is wanting your attention all the time? I don't know if your perspective on the necessity of meditation has changed as technology has changed.
To tell the truth, I'm not doing this because I want to be more concentrated in my daily life. I am doing this because I really enjoy to do this, and I did it always. Last 20 years, I did different kinds of meditation, and for me, it's just really, really interesting stuff. So when I sit down and close your eyes, I have the whole world inside myself, and for me, it was point of interest. But now I can see it gives me a lot of benefits. I understand better myself. I have higher level of empathy, so I can understand better people, and I do feel much better after meditation. So I try to meditate every day, but sometimes I forget, or sometimes I don't have enough time. And the day I do meditate and the day when I do not meditate, it's a different day. So I really feel that it gives me a lot of benefits.
How do you have time to meditate and to create art? Because you travel all over the world, as you mentioned, and you are involved in so many things. There's only 24 hours in a day. So how do you find the time?
Yeah, actually, meditation is not about giving away time, but it's actually about getting more time. For example, like Joe Dispenza says that if you have time to meditate, meditate 1 hour per day. If you don't have time to meditate, then you need to meditate 2 hours per day. Means that your days is not well organized, because when you meditate, then you understand the priority of things and you start to do only what is more important for you, because 80% of time we are doing something which is not important, and just 20% of our day we are doing something what is really important for our future, for our kids, for our family, for our country, for everything. So if we concentrate on these important things, and this is much easier to do after meditation, then actually we can do much more per day, so we can be much more efficient, and this is priceless.
And with your paintings specifically, speaking of time, how long do they usually take you? Because I know some of them are huge, some of them are very big scale. So when you would like to create a new piece of art, do you think about how long it takes, or it's just finished when it's finished?
I try not to think about how long it will take, but sometimes I have some limitation before some exhibition or before Biennale. So definitely I need to plan my time. But for me, the most time is to imagine, to think about art, and to feel this art. So this inner work takes the most time and the most energy and the most concentration. When I start physically to create, it goes with the flow. I can see it 7-10 hours in a row. So I need to do some alarm clock to wake up, to go sleep, to go eat, because I am in a state when I don't want nothing else, just I want to create. So the physical creation, I can create a really big piece in 1 week, for example. But to think about what I want to put inside, or if it's a big commission, for example, I need to reach people, we need to speak about the concept of the art they order, and also this is not only about physical piece. I do put a lot of my energy inside, so this is a lot of inner work before as well.
One aspect of your work that I read was very important to you on a personal level as well as an artistic level. I'm not sure if you include symbols that are literally from this era or simply you feel influenced by them, but the Cucuteni-Trypillya culture, for people who don't know, there were an ancient civilization that lived 7,000 years ago. So could you tell us a little bit more about that, and also why is that important to you when it comes to your work?
It's really pity that it's not well known, because it was really old civilization, and at that time it was the most developed civilization in Europe. So they did create textile. They not only hunting, but they also did agriculture, so they can survive through winter. So they didn't depend from the weather. So the level of surviving was closed, and they move evolutionarily to the next level when they start create. And we have a lot of sculpts, a lot of ceramic from that era. And obviously I did study about them at school, and I forget about them. But later, when I create my own style, I meet accidentally some man who is professionally doing Cucuteni-Trypillya culture. He also gives a BBC interview about this, and he said, you know that your symbols, some of them really reminds me symbols from Cucuteni-Trypillya. And that time I already live in UK, and everything what was connected with Ukraine was very important for me. And I start to investigate this culture more, and I traveled to Ukraine several more times, especially to see this Cucuteni-Trypillya ornament. And yes, there is something which really similar. I didn't mention to do it especially, but it appears somehow, and I don't know how to call it, a genetic memory or some kind, because I was born and lived almost all my life in the same land they lived. So maybe there is some connection, maybe this is just coincidence, but yes, I can see some similarities between my art and Cucuteni-Trypillya old Asian art.
The people who live basically on the land that is Ukraine and a little bit around Romania, Moldova.
Romania, right? Yes, you know it really well.
It's just really interesting because Aboriginal people in Australia, for example, are a really well-known culture, or the Native Americans in the United States. People know about their art and their culture, but I don't think many people know about this particular population of people.
Thank you for mentioning it. This is exactly what I think, and then try to popularize here in UK, because Aboriginal art you can find almost in every second gallery. It's very popular in UK, but like 20-30 years ago, nobody knows about this. And I hope that we'll also know about Cucuteni-Trypillya, because this is also great Asian culture with their own art style. And I try to add some symbols to my art and to be a representative of this Asian Ukrainian style here in UK as well.
Unfortunately, Ukraine has been under attack for 2 years, and you, as a Ukrainian citizen and as somebody who is already well known for your art and for all the other things that you do you feel like you have accidentally become kind of a cultural ambassador because you're living outside of your territory? And I'm sure the first thing most people ask you about has to do with the war, even though Ukraine is, like any country, has a lot more to it than just that.
You're right. I do feel a responsibility of presenting my country abroad. This doesn't happen recently. This is not last 2 years. As I mentioned, I do international career since 20 years. So I always was representative of Ukraine. And for my time, it was stereotype that in Ukraine, all women are pretty, but not very smart. So my idea was to show on these professional conferences that we also are very smart and we can be a high-level professional. I did a career in IT. So I am a COO of Development Center for software for interior design, which now is used in 87 countries on 22 languages. And I'm really proud to be a part of the team. And this was the part of representation me of Ukraine. But now also when war starts, I feel more responsibility. Not only speak about war, but speak about rich country of Ukraine. We have amazing architecture, we have a great history, but also now somehow to remind about Ukraine, because you know, on the beginning of the war, everybody was interested in Ukraine and people try to know more about Ukraine. But now war is still going on and Ukraine is still under attack. But this is not as interesting as former time, and we are out of newspapers, we are out of all channels, and we need to continue till the victory. I feel responsibility to speak about Ukraine, not about poor country which need everybody's help, but about beautiful and brave country who protect their freedom now. And also somehow I see it as Ukraine is also protecting Europe now, because there was a lot of thoughts that Putin will not stop if he will have Ukraine. So I think all together we are all in one boat here. We need to stop him and we want to live free and happy life. And I understand that on our planet there is a lot of war all the time. But of course, as a Ukrainian, for me this war is the most difficult, because also my family, my parents, my brother with his kids, all my friends, they stay in Ukraine, and this is painful for me. I have appointment on my phone when air alarm starts in Lviv. It can be dangerous. I live in UK, but I'm still partly live in Ukraine as well. And I didn't plan to go to UK. I wanted to stay in Ukraine. I'm here because of my daughter. She wanted to study here. And for me, first year and a half, I lived very closed life. So I didn't give permission to myself to continue live as I used to, because I always was active. I always was positive. I always wanted to be visible. I wanted to create, to bring a lot of kindness and love to this world. But on the beginning of the war, it closed me up and I couldn't show me as a personality anymore, because I was thinking I can can't even go drink coffee because there is a war, if you know what I mean. I start crying reading news, and it took me a lot of inner work, meditation including, and a lot of even physical training to come back to the normal state, because I understand better I feel, more good things I can do for my country and my family. So this is my responsibility, my state of being, and what I can do.
Of course, I want to talk about your career and things that are interesting in that sense, but I think this is as important, if not more important, because people can read the interviews that you've done or that other people I've interviewed have done that talk about their artistic technique and awards they've won and stuff. But getting to know the person behind the art, it really puts the humanity back into artwork, because people often see a beautiful painting, they hear a beautiful song, and they think, oh, that's cool. But they don't think that that was created by a person who's worried about their family, who's in a country that's under attack. It makes everything more important, I think.
Thank you so much.
So thank you for talking about it. And I know that it's not your job to teach other people how to do art or how to live, but you yourself have had to teach yourself how to come back from this feeling. So do you have any advice for a young artist who feels like, I want to make art, but life is so hard, whether it's because their family is in a war zone or if it's because of something else? Do you have any advice for somebody who says, how do you keep making art even if you feel this way?
Thank you for this question. I truly believe that if somebody has a feeling they want to create art, they definitely need to do it, because there is a sentence, what we are seeking seeks us, if you know what I mean. If you have a dream or you want to do something, it means this stuff also from the energy field wants to be done by you. I believe there is a higher meaning of creating. Is it art, or is it singing, or is it dancing? Everything what our soul wants, we should do. This is our true goal here on this world. But if there is some self-doubts, or if there are some thoughts, should I do it or shouldn't I, then we need to do concrete physical steps how to do it. First of all, don't quit a real job if you already work somewhere and tomorrow, no, I will start, I will be an artist. There is a plenty of possibilities to do art after the work, and only after you start selling art in a level you want to live, then you can quit your previous job. So don't do extreme things, because then after a few months it can be disappointing. Also, please don't do stuff which you think you can sell. I know many artists and they try to understand, okay, here I can sell landscape, and here I can sell only portraits, and here dogs. For UK, the most important is dogs and landscapes, but I do sell my abstract art. So my real advice, and maybe the most important advice, is to create what your heart and what your soul wants to create, because everybody can do landscapes, but what you can do, this can be created only by you, and this is important. If you want to create a landscape, this is important, do a landscape. So just do what you want, because this is unique and this was what this world needs.
I love that answer. Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me too. I know you're busy. That's it for my questions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Natalia, for taking the time to speak with us, and good luck with all your projects in the future. And to all our friends in Barcelona and all over the world, thank you for supporting local art and culture wherever you may be. Culture includes painting, music, poetry, local restaurants, local bookstores. Support those artists, support those businesses from wherever you are or wherever you live, because without you, they wouldn't be able to continue to do what they do. And as you've seen in all of our almost 50 interviews now, the world is a better place, a more vital place, a more interesting place because of local artists, because of local and international artists like Natalia Revoniuk, and all the other incredible guests that we've featured over the past 4 years on the Metropolitan Culture Corner. See you next month, same time, same YouTube channel. You know the drill by now.